Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? So why didn't y'all tell me? I don't have a lot of time left, so I have to talk fast and I might slur some words. So basically, this episode is going to comprise every single episode of season 2. So what happens is, like, there was a bunch of stories that I wanted to cover, but I never really got to them because I either had to do something or I had a whole bunch of homework, or I just really didn't really kind of feel like, because I was trying to max in and relaxing. But anyway, every single episode of season 2 is going to be in this video. And basically, I'm going to break all these episodes up into individual episodes so that you can watch them later, just in case you don't want to, you know, sit there and try to comprehend and congress. I don't even know if that's really a word or not, but put all this information in your brain. So don't worry about it if you don't want to watch it, because I'm going to break them all up anyway. And that's pretty much going to be it. So that's why it's called Did You Know Everything. It's really going to be season 2. So enjoy. If not, goodbye. Later. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The world premiere of season 2. Missy Elliot featuring Hannah Montana. Tell me you wouldn't watch that music video. Yeah, but you can't because it hasn't happened yet. But Missy Elliot did actually mention Hannah Montana when she was unveiling her 3D music video. The first 3D music video in history. Problem is, unless you bought the Shark Boy and Lava Girl and or the Spy Kids 3D DVD, or unless you had those glasses from way back when Jaws was in 3D, you probably won't be able to enjoy the music video in its full potential. But it's a Missy Elliot video, so you know it's nice. Flash! This year's Super Bowl was the most watched Super Bowl in all of Super Bowl history. And yes, I realize I keep saying Super Bowl. Did you know that a new England Patriot star actually took Jay Holiday's advice to heart and stuck his face in someone's neck and breathed? The male companion didn't seem to mind it. But seriously, it's 2008. Does anybody really care about that anymore? Jim Carrey jumped off a bridge. Are you really that surprised? But don't worry, he's fine. It's for his new movie, Yes. Man, think Liar Liar, but instead of telling the truth, you just have to say yes. Haven't you already done this movie already? Yes. Will I still go see it? I'm that dude that got what you need. Eyes on the prize, picking up speed. Well, apparently that dude is Mickey Avalon. And with 2 to 3 million hits per song on his MySpace, I wouldn't be sleeping on him. Now, like a good media news outlet person, I will now tell you his life story. His grandparents were Holocaust survivors, his dad was a heroin addict, and his mom was a pot dealer. A profession that he took on himself at 14, and apparently he was so good at it that his mom fired him. Whoa. He turned to prostitution, giving a helping hand to those he met to fund his raging smack habit. That is, until his sister died of a heroin overdose and his father died in a car accident. That's when he met fellow label mate Simon Rex, aka Dirt Nasty. With beat production from Simon Rex and some assistance from Andre Legacy, Mickey Avalon started to write some songs. And I quote, "I'd go to his house, smoke weed, and F around with songs." They rose to prominence with such songs as My Male Reproductive Organ, 4-letter version, and Jane Fonda, you know, 5, 6, 7 now. If you don't know, let me show you how to work it out. Work it, little mama. I know you wanna do the Jane Fonda. And Waiting to Die, to which its opening lyric is, "We are going to have open sexual intercourse on every street corner of America." And from there, Mickey could only go higher. Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. And twice he did, because he landed a joint deal between MySpace and Interscope Records, which inevitably led him to nationwide recognition when he starred in a Boost Mobile commercial, to which everyone replied, "Who is that dude, and why does he have what I need?" Mickey is now continuing to do shows, to which he calls his performances, and I quote, "It's another form of prostitution, it just doesn't smell as bad." In other news, a man was given a forced rectal exam. David Persaud, hope I said that right, was accidentally hit on the head with a wooden beam at a construction site. He then went to the ER to get himself checked out. Then the doctors told him that he has to get a rectal exam to determine if there's a spinal cord injury. He refused, and then staffers from the hospital came in and held him down, to which he then replied, "Please don't do that." And then in the scuffle, he got his hand free, hit the doctor, so then they sedated him and put in a breathing tube. The criminal charges thrown out because technically he was just raped, and A judge refused to grant the petition for the hospital to throw the suit out. And then it says, although a rectal exam is part of the routine ER evaluation. Really? Because I've been to the ER many times and I've never been rectally examined. This patient clearly refused. His life was not in danger. He did not have any signs of abdominal trauma. He had full range of motion and movement of all four extremities. A reasonable analysis of his situation could have been obtained without checking for rectal tone. Yeah. David is now suing the hospital in a civil suit. Janet Jackson has had at least one #1 hit almost every year since 1986 on the U.S. Billboard's Hot R&B/Hip Hop and Hot Dance Club plays. The new kids on the block are getting back together. Now, while they say boy bands don't really make great man bands, Backstreet Boys are kind of proving them wrong, because when the Backstreet Boys got back together and had their album Never Gone, it sold 10 million copies worldwide. And their new album that came out October 30th, 2007, that's about 3 months ago, has sold over 840,000 copies, and they're still going #1 in Japan. So maybe NKTOB might just have a chance. George W. Bush never should have been president. In the 2000 presidential election, Al Gore actually won the popular vote by 500,000 votes. But since Al Gore only got 266 electoral college votes and George Bush got 271 electoral college votes, George Bush became the president. Kind of makes you wonder about that whole "we're over there to teach them democracy" thing. Wrong. We don't even have a democracy. So how are we supposed to be able to teach people about something we don't even have? And if we did have a democracy, you wouldn't even be president. Britney Spears has been hospitalized again for fear that she might harm herself, but this time Lynn Spears and dad, James Spears, is back in her life, even though Britney supposedly doesn't want her there. Go Lynn for doing the mom thing and not abandoning your child, because that's what parents do. They're there for you. Period. I'm wondering, can Britney Spears throw down? Because what's up with the dozens of police officers, motorcycles, and helicopters? I mean, she's only this big. But maybe that's because of the whole celebrity and escorting thing to the hospital. But what if she can throw down? A judge gets freaky at trial. Judge Donald Thompson was seen at least 15 times from 2001 to 2003 by his court reporter exposing himself. And then in 2003, during 3 separate trials, 2 of which were murder trials, he was using a penis pump on himself. And not only that, you could hear it. You can hear the shh, 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 shh. You know that sound. You know when JT... Rest in peace. From Degrassi used the penis pump. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Oh. And get this. The judge says it wasn't something that I was hiding. No, it wasn't something you were hiding. At least not very well. So one of the officers that was testifying on the 2003 murder cases obviously overheard it and looked over and saw the judge and some plastic tubing that was disappearing under his robe. So later at lunch, he went and took pictures of under the bench, and the penis pump was there. Dude leaves the penis pump under the bench. The judge goes on to say, I might have accidentally pressed it, but I didn't use it to masturbate. Why is it under the bench? Why do you leave it there? Why is it like not in a drawer? Why is it even in the courthouse, period? Yeah. He's now serving a 4-year jail sentence. However, a jury recommended 1 year of jail time and $10,000 for each of the 4 counts, and a judge denied his motion for him to remain free pending an appeal. Do murder trials make you horny, baby? Do they
make you randy? Yeah.
As of October 16, 2007, Elizabeth Gladys Milavina Dean is the last remaining Titanic survivor. A church decides to picket a soldier's funeral. So what happens is, the church, I'm reading now, the church members believe that God is punishing America for being tolerant of homosexuals and views the death of soldiers as a welcome sign of God's wrath. The church is obviously crazy. But anyway, so there was a soldier and he died, and there was a funeral, and there were some people from a church who went and picketed the funeral because of their weird beliefs. And what makes it even worse is that the next day in the paper, they had all the attention on the front page, and the soldier was like this small in the paper. And the dad, instead of going over there and knocking these people out, I mean, he was a little distressed at the time, he sued these people for $11 million, and he won. I'm not going to say the name of the church or their website because they kind of make me sick and I don't want to promote them in any way. Not only were you disrespecting the dad, but you were disrespecting the church, the people who were there, and you were disrespecting the dead. When you guys were meeting, did you not, I don't know, think of the idea that this is wrong? We are going to HELL. Do not follow these people. We are going to HELL in the express elevator if we do this. In the last round of what is being called the BME Pain Olympics, a man does something that makes everybody go, "God, oh my God, oh my." It makes all men everywhere look down and go, "I'm not gonna hurt you. I'll never hurt you." There's a video on YouTube that, well, I don't really want to say dancing. It's more like Kama Sutra mixed with acrobatic sex with clothes on. It's the kind of video that makes you just go,